on second down. That'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jones. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards. They go play action now. Haskins. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Pushing his way inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go play action with Haskins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On play action, Haskins. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. George Kittle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. It was Jonathan Bostic there on the stop. Jones on third down. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This is brought in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll make our score 14-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the group.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Uncorks one for Davis. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they change plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Matthew Ioannidis in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Throwing Jones. This is Johnson. He's got it. Down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. From the 45 on second down. Jones under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The Giants on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Now Jones, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Throwing again on second down. Haskins. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. On first down, win. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Win. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Back-to-back running plays, putting him in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? And able to find Garcon. A huge play there for Washington. 43 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. On first down, it's Haskins to Thompson on the screen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Watch the safety creep.
Second down, Haskins. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this ordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and they will not be able to hook hook up there. It's incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Turner, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 30-yard line.
Got it. Ready. 8, read.
Check 53.
Now.
From the gun, Jones. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Mike, 57.
Off-play action. Haskins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Off the play fake. Haskins in trouble, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Golden able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And, they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jones is going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Reuben Foster picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mike 51. Come on.
They'll keep it on the ground. Win. And he's going to get this pretty close to the 1st down marker at the Giants' 23. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
51, 51. Here we go, Steve.
On third down. Win. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now Jones, a big spot for the rookie from Duke. Coleman has it here right side.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And he loses the football a second time.
We practice and win. Let's go.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
7 yards there and a first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. The
catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Haskins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Montez Sweat in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Yeah.
Mike 56.
Hey, Echo.
56. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
Go.
Jones now throwing on 4th down. This one complete to Coleman. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Jones. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
That one good for 21 yards.
Here we go.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Looking to throw. Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones, his throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. They come up in an offset eye.
56. Wild Bill.
Get it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Rush in. 22-jet bombers. 22-jet bombers. Buzz.
Back to throw. And he will get into the end zone to cut the deficit down to 4. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Off play action. Haskins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A 3rd down gain of 19. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
You got tape.
Haskins going to try to throw it. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he